It's my opinion that one of the more difficult and sophisticated activities that marketing gets involved in, and it's not exclusive to marketing, and I think that'll become obvious when you read through this, that financial people, um, executives of all stripe get involved in pricing decisions. But pricing decisions are uh, you have to be very careful with them. And because they have long-term ramifications, and sometimes it's very difficult to walk them back. So when we develop strategies and programs, here's the thing I want you to remember. We've got our 4 Ps, which we've talked about earlier. We've got product, which is features and benefits. Place, which is where and how we distribute, which we'll talk about down the road here. Pricing, which is, and then promotions. Well, pricing is that element of the marketing mix, those 4 Ps, that where we assign a value to a product or a service, and it's a fair market value, for lack of a better term, to use kind of an economic term. Fair market value. What's the value of it? Who judges the value? Let me give you a little quick example. Let's say you've got an automobile that you want to sell, and it was given to you by your grandfather. It's got a lot of history to it, and so you put a real premium price on that because of how much it means to you. And you go to sell it, and somebody looks in the blue book and says, well, you know, I understand that it was your granddad's car, but the blue book value, given its mileage, condition, and so on, it's worth this. So, or another way to look at it is a house. A house is it's worth something to you, but it might only be worth so much. It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, is what I'm trying to drive at. So the key is to understand, the worst way to derive the key is to understand the market's value proposition. How do they view the value? Not how the owner of the company views it, not how you view it, but how does the target market view? What's the value that they put on it, given the competitive environment, competitive offers, and so on? Now I'm going to tell you the worst way possible to price something, and that is to find a target market, develop a product for it, figure out how much it's going to cost you to deliver the product or service, add on margins, i.e. I got to make so much profit, and then say 10%, say 20% margins, gross margin, and then sell it. Now we're talking about free competitive markets here. We're not talking about government-controlled things, which is why certain things become horribly expensive, is because market forces are not at work to hold prices down. The beauty of competition will do that way better than a third party that arbitrarily assigns a price. This is how you create short, and I'm getting into economic thought here a little bit, and it goes beyond theory, it's fact. Anyway, long story short, that's a horrible way to price. What you do is, the real way to price, the smart way to price, the pricing that will keep you out of making dumb decisions and investing in dumb products and dumb services, or foolish ones, is this. At what level or amount of value can we deliver to the target market in a given category? How much is it going to, and what are they willing to pay for that? So what's the upper bound, lower bound, given the amount of differentiation, competitive advantage that you might possess to deliver that product or service? Okay, so you've got a target price then. Now, can you deliver or build and deliver a product or service and still have a margin? If you cannot, the answer to the question of whether or not you should get into that market is no. Now, if you can add so much value because of a unique competitive advantage, like Apple Computer did with the iPhone when it first came out, or the iPod, blew everybody out of the water because it added so much value to the product that the market said, man, is that all you want? And away they went. Dominated that area. Absolutely dominated. And there was competitors before that. I mean, honestly, they are not the first ones to the market, but they have dominated in that area, especially with the iPod and such. So, with that said, when we develop these strategies and programs, has to be a very, or should be, let me say, a very thoughtful process. But you have to determine what kind of competitive environment are you in. And how much can you differentiate yourself? If you're selling a commodity where everything's alike, it's all the same, it's very difficult to charge more unless you can add value. Now, what would seemingly be a commodity, we work to differentiate, and really we make it more complex. Let me give you an example. Bread, or let's just stick with bread. You can buy the old moldy stuff at the day-old stuff or whatever old stuff at the store for 99 cents a loaf. Or you can go to Breadsmith, or there's another place in town, in Sioux Falls at least, that's got really good bread. Great Harvest. Really good bread. $4.95 a loaf. So and I don't know what the old moldy is, but let's just say 99 to $4.95 or higher. It's still a loaf of bread, right? Well, no. You got to understand, our bread, and then this is because I buy this once in a while, the bread at Great Harvest, I don't know about the Breadsmith, but it's made with honey, doesn't seem to mold, it's fresh, they cut it right in front of you, bing, 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 bing. We're adding value all the time. Yeah, well, I pay $4.95 for some of that. Yes, I will. It's good bread. It's same as happened with coffee. You know, I'm old, I grant you that. I'm on my way out. I'm cranky. I can remember when I'm not like a huge connoisseur of coffee. I drink it because it's hot. I don't really like the taste of it, to be honest with you. Not that you care, but I can remember as a kid going with my dad to the diner. Okay, I lived in a small town, one restaurant and a bowling alley, and the bowling alley counted. Coffee was either free or a quarter or 39 cents or whatever. They'd leave change. That was what a coffee cup was. And there was no mocha mint or fruity looty or whatever the heck it was or is now. It's confusing. I just order regular black coffee. I live an exciting life. I know you can tell. But they've added value by the store, where you buy it. It's not a crummy store at, Starbucks or Panera. Those are nice stores. They're nice to go into. The coffee is all these different blends. We're doing this, we're doing that. They've added value. They've added certainly a level of complexity to the decision. Not every coffee is the same. Heck, they got organic, they got non-organic, they got this, that, and the other thing. These all roll into this pricing strategy and programs. So here's kind of what they work your way through. They talk about strategies as far as when to challenge pricing, when to cut your price. Be really careful, I will say this, of starting a price war. That, unless you can win it, that's a low form of competition. The only reason they're buying from you is because you're cheap. That's going to work great until somebody's cheaper, and then you're doomed. So, and this is why the all-powerful strategy that Walmart has is their ability to source, i.e. find, deliver goods and services to resell, because they don't make anything, and they ruthlessly pound on their distributors or their suppliers in order to get the cheapest price, because nobody goes in there because they like the stores that much. And they're nice people in there. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that they're not nice, but it's not like it's this, Shangri-La of shopping experience. I mean, I like Walmart. They deliver. They have added to the lifestyle of vast swipes of or swaths of the American population because of the price differences that they've delivered. You live better because of Walmart. Okay, so don't believe that's kind of hooey propaganda that everybody should hate Walmart. Okay, so as you work your way through this is for you financial people, this is going to be a little different than what you maybe had thought, i.e. cost accounting. That's the mechanical side. We're talking the value side now. Okay, not that the cost accounting doesn't matter, because it truly does, but it's not the end-all and be-all of the cost decision. Because just because it costs us that much to sell it doesn't mean we should sell it for that price point. So read carefully, and I think you'll enjoy this.